Election season is just getting started here on campus. What the only slate running for office says about bringing change to campus.
White House officials expressed their position on COVID-19 vaccinations, who they think should be added to the priority list.
And I'm tracking snow and warm temperatures ahead for this weekend.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening and thanks for being with us. I'm Annie Keister.
And I'm Joey Moore. SGA election season continues with only one slate.
I sat down with presidential candidate Tina Nguyen and vice presidential candidate Kiara Biddle tonight in studio for the second forum. The two presented the slate Strive. They touched on changes on campus, starting with the organization itself.
Our slate believes that it is not a very open culture. We would love to change that by advertising to more of the student body and how to get involved within SGA and making Senate itself more welcoming.
We'd love to really encourage collaboration among senators. We think that's where the best work gets done, is when senators work together for a common goal, for the common good.
Other topics discussed here tonight, including the quality of life for students on campus.
As we know, parking has been a big issue between the student body, and their voices are being heard by us. We would just want to work again very, very closely with transportation and parking services, figure out if there are more and better ways to have more student parking lots installed within Ball State University.
The bus drivers are tracking how many students are getting on and off at every stop, every single time they stop, to recognize, which ones are really important, which ones do students really love and use the most. They're adding more pathways for students to be able to walk to their classes and walk to different events.
We even brought in some of your questions for the slate.
If you want to watch the full forum, you can find it on our Facebook page.
You will have one more chance to hear from Strive next Wednesday night at 6 right here on NewsLink Indiana.
The president of the Indianapolis Museum of Art at Newfields has resigned days after the institution apologized for a job listing seeking a new director who would maintain the museum's traditional core white art audience. A public from the museum's Board of Trustees and Board of Governors says Charles Venable's resignation was, quote, necessary for Newfields to become the cultural institution our community needs and deserves. It sparked letters from a group of Newfields employees and community art leaders calling for Venable's resignation.
The city of Minneapolis is preparing for potential unrest ahead of the trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin. He is one of the 4 officers charged in the death of George Floyd. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says there will be an increased law enforcement presence, up to 2,000 National Guard members and 1,100 law enforcement officers are prepared to respond. He says safety is a top priority.
As we've seen in so many other cities, as we lead into trials involving black men that have been killed by the police officers, there's great frustration, there's anxiety, and there's trauma. We anticipate that trauma increasing as we get closer into jury deliberations and the verdict, and we believe that it is on us to honor the magnitude of this moment and ensure that our families in this city feel safe.
Jury selections for Chauvin's case is set to begin March 8th. He's charged with second-degree unintentional murder and second-degree manslaughter. The 3 other former officers involved in the incident have been charged with aiding and abetting. They will be tried together in a separate case in August.
Bridges Community Services is asking for help after someone broke out the window to one of the doors on their building.
As NewsLink Indiana's Libby Kleemeyer found out, while the group is disappointed, they say they're not angry.
A snow-covered Tuesday morning started with a phone call Sarah Renee and her team never hoped to get.
We came over and there had been a piece of our landscaping brick picked up and thrown through our door all the way into, they trucked it pretty well into there.
Hundreds of dollars of damage done, the group wondering how are they going to repair it.
That literally is taking away from the services that we can, continue providing to people through the winter and pandemic.
Bridges has stayed open during the pandemic. However, they made the decision to close Tuesday because of the weather.
I think it might have just been done out of frustration.
Bridges has a mission to help the community with a place to stay and resources to use. People driving by noticing the damage, shocked and heartbroken.
Oh, I couldn't believe it because this place helps a lot of people.
Gail Allen drove by Tuesday and saw the damage. She says it hurts so much because of her connection to bridges.
I bring my clients here and they get a lot of things. I came here before I went to work because I needed things. I'm low income.
And as the cleanup is now over, both Renee and Alan say they hope the person learns a valuable lesson.
Obviously, we would still invite that person back in and, not deny them services or anything.
And for Alan,
you're going to have to pay for that. You let a lot of people down.
Despite the damages, she is still welcoming during this time, and all they want to do is help out. In Muncie, Libby Kleemeyer, NewsLink, Indiana.
The group has PayPal. You can donate or you can stop in to donate clothes and even get a tour. We've got a link on our website, ballstatedaily.com.
As the month of February comes to an end, NewsLink Indiana's Catherine Segal looked into Black History Month and how Ball State is advocating for Black students.
Black History Month, an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans. Associate Vice President for Inclusive Excellence Marcia McGriff talks about her take on inclusion and advocacy at Ball State.
But I celebrate Black history every single day. I'm African American, and I'm a part of a long legacy, long history of ancestors whose shoulders I stand upon.
Ball State works toward supporting inclusion and diversity every day.
I'm fortunate to work at a place that holds that high value. And if you look at our enduring values, inclusiveness is one of those enduring values as well.
And a new multicultural center is underway for students at Ball State.
College is that space where you learn so much about yourself, you learn so much about others, you learn so much about the world. And to have a state-of-the-art multicultural center in your backyard, literally, will be, I think, a really important part.
With inclusiveness comes advocacy for Black students.
There is a strong cord of grace and connection, and I almost want to use the L word, love, for you here at Ball State.
Love for our similarities and our differences.
Our similarities are so much bigger and greater than our differences, that we can all walk and celebrate our multiple identities.
In Muncie, Catherine Segal, NewsLink, Indiana.
Ball State continues to advocate for diversity with Unity Week, workshops, a new multicultural center, and more. You can find more information on campus life at ballstatedaily.com.
Ball State's Reinard Orchid Greenhouse is celebrating its 50th anniversary next month through a special orchid education program. NewsLink Indiana's Avery Johnson spoke with the curator about the upcoming event.
We're excited to be able to share our 50-year anniversary.
Greenhouse curator Cheryl LeBlanc has been working on expanding their education program for 3 decades, hoping to reach more students and Muncie residents.
I've had a lot of hand in trying to make the educational program here at the university and the greenhouse dovetail into a lot of our educational mission.
The greenhouse is home to over 2,000 orchids, making it the largest university-based orchid collection in the United States. The event is scheduled to take place on Saturday, March 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. over Zoom. And it's good that'll be over Zoom because it is cold out.
It's looking like Punxsutawney Phil was pretty spot on, Maddie. What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. Our low this morning was -5 degrees, our first sub-zero temperature in Muncie this year. Right now we're looking at temperatures in the upper teens, 18 in Muncie, 20 down in Indy, 15 up in Fort Wayne, and as we head through the next 8 hours, we'll see temperatures maintain in the upper teens, actually 18 for 7 of the next 8 hours. And coming up in my full forecast, I'm talking about these cold temperatures continuing throughout the day tomorrow, as well as snow on the way for your Thursday. I'll be timing out those snow chances, as well as a warmer weekend ahead.
All right, thank you, Maddie. White House officials met today to discuss COVID-19 vaccinations. Who else is being prioritized after the break?
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
The Biden administration announced a $1.6 billion federal investment to help with coronavirus testing. A White House COVID-19 testing coordinator said the money is needed to turn the tide of the pandemic, but Congress still needs to act.
To be clear, these resources are a significant help in the short term, but they are far from what's necessary to meet the need for testing in communities across the country. They are merely a bridge until Congress passes the American Rescue Plan to fully expand testing and ensure that any American can get a test when they need one.
Officials outlined 3 key areas for the money: $650 million for testing schools and underserved populations, $815 million for domestic manufacturing of testing supplies, and nearly $200,000 million toward genome sequencing. Officials say the sequencing will help to identify variants sooner and help efforts to stop the spread. And White House officials say teachers do not need to be vaccinated for schools to reopen. Instead, officials say teachers should be prioritized for the vaccine like frontline workers.
Neither the president nor the vice president believe that it is a requirement. The CDC guidelines included a range of mitigation steps, including vaccinations, as recommendations. But the mitigation steps also included steps like social distancing, the need for smaller class sizes, the need for sanitation.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said last week Biden's goal was to have schools open 5 days a week and in person. She stressed the administration would follow the guidelines of science and medical experts on how to safely reopen. Dr. Anthony Fauci says not every teacher needs to be vaccinated before a school can reopen.
People across Indiana are digging out from nearly 1 foot of snow, which is complicating COVID vaccination efforts. Dozens of vaccine clinics had to close because of the weather. The Indiana State Department of Health says more than 70 sites were forced to close temporarily. ISDH says anyone who had an appointment during the closures can reschedule. Officials urge anyone who needs help to give them a call at 211 or reach out to them by email. We've got links to resources online at ballstatedaily.com.
And as the pandemic continues taking a toll all around the world, people are still celebrating holiday traditions like normal, but of course with some exceptions.
Today marks the beginning of the Christian season of Lent. The season begins today, Ash Wednesday, which is 6.5 weeks before Easter, and ends on Holy Saturday. Christians symbolize Ash Wednesday with an ash cross on their forehead, but some adjustments have been made because of the pandemic.
A church in Upland, California held an Ash and Dash event. Instead of rubbing ashes on the forehead in person, ashes were prepackaged. You can see people driving up to get theirs so they can rub the ashes on themselves. The church made sure its members had on protective gear as they gave away the ashes and free coffee and some hot coffee. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. It is just nasty, Joey.
Yeah, definitely not. It's really cold out there. Maddie?
We've got isolated snow showers appearing on radar right now. However, more snow is on the way for Thursday. Find out just how much after the break.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back. We are currently seeing some isolated snow showers on radar right now, as well as clouds moving in. These clouds are moving in ahead of our next weather system, currently centered down here over Tennessee and Arkansas. This is going to push its way northward, bringing us snow chances on Thursday. Timing these snow chances out for you on Precision Cast, we're left with mostly just clouds as heading into the overnight hours tonight. Snow begins to move in around 1, 2 a.m., becoming much more widespread by 7 a.m. Thursday. So for your morning commute, make sure to give yourself a couple of extra minutes to travel to your destination. Roads and sidewalks could be slick and snow covered. Snow hangs around for most of Thursday, becoming scattered in nature during the afternoon before finally pushing northward and out of our area by Thursday evening. We're left with cloud cover for Thursday overnight. Now, taking a look at how much snow we are expecting, we're expecting 1 to 2 inches for most of the viewing area, a trace to 1 inch in our northern counties, including Grant County. Now, taking a look outside at our current temperatures, it is cold out there, not as cold as we saw this morning though, with that low, as I said earlier, of -5 degrees. It is 20 in Indianapolis right now, 15 up to our north in Fort Wayne, and we're sitting at 18 degrees here in Muncie. Now, as we factor in the winds, it feels much colder outside, wind chills dropping into the single digits tonight, 9 degrees in Muncie, feels like 0 in Kokomo and 7 in Indianapolis. Now tonight, we end tonight with a low of 16 degrees. Those temperatures not dropping very much from where they are right now. Winds out of the east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour will make it feel colder than it is as that snow does move in for your Thursday morning. Now heading into the day tomorrow, we see that snow becoming more widespread at 8 a.m., 16 degrees, 20 degrees by lunchtime with those isolated snow showers sticking around, 23 by 5 p.m. with mostly cloudy skies. Could see some peaks of sunshine to end the day on Thursday with those clouds sticking around. Now, temperatures tomorrow do not get above freezing as they haven't for the last 13 days. We are currently in a stretch of very cold temperatures since February 5th. This is not our longest stretch of cold temperatures. That was back in February of 2015. However, we are expected to break this stretch of below freezing temperatures this weekend. We are seeing this snow chance on Thursday, high of 23, 20s for Friday and Saturday, and then take a look at this. Temperatures are finally going to get above freezing, 33 on Sunday with a chance of rain and snow. That chance sticking around for Monday with a high of 34, 39 on Tuesday, upper 30s to round out the rest of the week. So those cold temperatures sticking around, but it is going to get warmer.
Well, I normally be more disappointed in the temperatures. Tonight, I'm a little more disappointed in the snow. I've spent the better part of my last 2 days just shoveling my car out.
Yeah, it's been tough having to get out of my parking spot.
Yeah, well, hopefully with those snow amounts only being an inch or two, not a lot of shoveling, and hopefully the roads won't be very slick.
Thank goodness. Thank you so much, Maddie.
And some local wrestlers are suiting up for state. Who they are next in sports.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow. Oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Weeknights, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. We've got the latest news headlines.
Freezing temperatures have set in all the way down in Louisiana.
One man dead after flooding in Venice, Italy.
Up to the minute weather conditions.
Cold temperatures are the story this morning.
And of course, lots of fun.
It is not funny.
On earth is happening there?
I feel sorry for the little guy.
I've got my socks on. Annie with her curly hair, which is actually never curly. Join us Friday mornings at 8 on Facebook Live.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Philip Chorzay with sports. And Ball State Track and Field will host their final tune-up meet before Mid-American Conference Championships kick off at Central Michigan next week. NewsLink Indiana's Amani Butts takes us trackside.
The Cardinals will have one more hurdle to jump tomorrow, hosting the Ball State Tune-Up. But the real finish line, the MAC Championship next weekend.
I think whenever you're looking at that 2-week period before a championship, that's really when you should be at very close to your best or some version of your best. So our expectations for Thursday are to give some people an opportunity to stay sharp. It'll also give people who are a little rusty one more meet to kind of knock that off. And at the end of the day, you just want to feel confident.
Senior sprinter Ivy McKee just wants to keep her foot on the gas.
I had a season best last Friday, so I just want to continue to execute my races how I want to execute them so I can put everything together for the MAC meet. I'm not expecting to have some crazy race, but that would be awesome. So I just want to make sure I'm just fine-tuning everything so I can go into the MAC meet feeling good about it.
With 7 individuals in the top 5 spots in the MAC, Coach Edelman isn't just thinking about the numbers on the scoreboard.
I think we just want to feel good showing up, and at that point, all the work is done. This is what everyone on our team works for. It's the most exciting part of the year. So we want to keep that dynamic good and positive and let it all take care of itself,
But the Cardinals plan to give Butler and NIU a run for their money. In Muncie, Imani Butts, NewsLink, Indiana.
And as the swim season comes to a close, the water is heating up for the Delta Eagles. Delta is led by 2 standout seniors, Sam Bennett and Brady Samuels. Both seniors are heading to West Lafayette to join the Boilermakers after the season comes to a close. Bennett and Samuels will compete at the Jay County Sectional on February 19th and 20th. Although the season is coming to an end, they hope they can leave even more of an impact on their program. In the sports world, it's all about drive and motivation, and that's no different for these Eagles swimmers.
Everybody has things that motivate them. For me, it was seeing divers that were just amazing and mind-blowing. Coming out, I knew what I wanted to do in this sport. In April 2018.
I'm excited for state coming up soon and really excited to be a Boilermaker next year. Coach Laura's taught me lots of lessons in and out of the pool. She's helped me a lot with my training and just life in general.
And Delaware County will be sending 3 representatives to the state wrestling tournament February 19th and 20th. First off, from Jay County, sophomore Cody Rowles. He'll be competing in the 106-pound weight class. Next up, we've got Tony Abbott of Cowan. He's competing at 145 pounds. And finally, Monroe Central sophomore Hunter Page is headed to the biggest stage in Indiana high school wrestling, weighing in at 182 pounds. Now, personally, I'm a member of the Ball State swim team
their
here,
weight.
and so I am a massive swim nerd. I know I'm definitely looking forward to see what Brady can do this coming weekend.
Yeah, and I actually swam in high school, so I'm going to be paying attention to the sectional meet. Just really excited to see what they can do. Thank you, Philip.
And some super exciting stuff as well in wrestling.
Definitely.
All right, Philip, thank you so much. And a fallen star is shooting their way back up to the top. Who it is, next in Trending.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you help me? I got it. Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now? Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. It's time for us to take a look at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Rebecca Rosado. Good evening, Rebecca.
Good evening, guys. Thank you so much. Tonight we're starting off with the COVID-19 vaccine is making its way across the world. Colombia kickstarted their campaign this morning. The campaign took start in Hospital Universitario de Sincelejo, located in the northern region of Colombia. The head ICU nurse, Veronica Machado, was the first to receive the vaccine. President Ivan Duque showed his support by being beside Machado. 50,000 of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines are set to be used for the first round, with the second shipment set to be coming in this weekend. In other news, Janet Jackson is back on top of the pop music charts, all thanks to her fans. Jackson took to Twitter to thank her fans for control over her high ranking on the charts. The album, Control, hit #1 on Apple Music's top 40 U.S. pop album charts this weekend. This was Jackson's third studio album, and it celebrated its 35th anniversary on February 4th. You may recognize hit songs like Nasty and What Have You Done For Me Lately, which were all featured on the album.
And I grew up with Janet Jackson playing background. It's so cool to see her back on the charts.
Absolutely.
And I think that nastiness she was singing about was that weather, Maddie. What's it looking like?
Well, taking a look at the mid 7-day forecast, we've got those snow chances coming in for tomorrow. 1 to 2 inches of snow expected throughout the day. On Thursday, 23 degrees for your high. On Friday and Saturday, we're seeing temperatures stay in the 20s, but take a look on Sunday, 33 degrees. We are finally going to be getting above freezing for the first time in over 2 weeks. A slight chance of snow and some rain Sunday and Monday. Temperatures staying in the mid to upper 30s to round out the rest of the 7-day forecast. So it's going to be cold for a little bit, but temperatures are going to be warm. No snow in sight after this weekend.
Above freezing are the words I was looking for, Maddie. Thank you so much. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight on NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.